especially if it's one of those people who are like always on a new hustle like every year. Like I know somebody like that. I ain't gonna call them out, but like they got a new hustle like every year or two. A job, a gig, a job, a 9 to 5. Is it really a bad thing? So why am I talking about this? Well, in a previous video about scammers in the black community, I conveniently left out the people who would try to convince you that having a job is somehow a sucker move. Also, quick side note, I didn't animate this video because it took entirely too long. I just didn't feel like doing it. But with that out of the way, let's talk about the folks in the community who will try to make you think that you're a sucker for just having a regular job and that you can't be happy unless you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, and that job is sucking your soul and you're never going to be happy and you're never going to achieve your dreams. And I want to talk about why that thinking is kind of bullshit. So anyone that knows anything about me and my wife, you might say, well, Steve, you're being a hypocrite because you both quit your jobs and moved outside the country because you didn't want to work anymore. And yes, that's true, but that's different than me thinking that I'm dumb for having a job. I actually didn't mind the work I did. I'm not going to speak for my wife, but I didn't mind the work I did. And without having a steady income for so many years, I couldn't have built the opportunity I had that allowed us to quit our jobs and leave the country. I live in Ecuador, right? I don't need to live a life of luxury. I just need to live a life that's affordable on the limited income that I have. I wouldn't be able to be in this position if not for what I built through having steady work for 25 years. So the first thing I need to say is there's nothing wrong with being an entrepreneur. I used to run a business myself. The problem is that there are so many people out there, and we know them, who will always encourage you. You need to be an entrepreneur. You need to go into business for yourself. You need to do this. You don't need to work for anybody. You need to have financial freedom. First of all, being an entrepreneur don't mean you're free from anything. You're probably going to work more hours than you did at your job. Second, not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur. Just because you have a decent idea doesn't mean that you're the kind of person that can run a business or that you're good at finding people to run your business for you. Yeah, it's like telling somebody who you see on a playground playing basketball, well, if you just train a little harder, you can make it to the NBA. No, it's not like that. Not everybody has that skill set. And I think too often on social media and YouTube and just online in general, especially in the black community, we're always saying, yeah, start a business, get credit and start a business and do this. And hold on, pump your brakes. Can that person get some financial literacy first? What if they've never done anything like that? You just want them to jump right into it and then end up ruining their credit? Not everyone has the natural mindset to be an entrepreneur, and then those that learn it still may not have what it takes to become successful. I think that there's too much emphasis these days on, hey, stop breaking your back at your job. It's not worth it. They don't pay you enough. They don't do this, they don't do that. Let's pump your brakes on that, because there are plenty of people out there who are okay with the job they do. Not everyone hates their job. The fact of the matter is, you can work a 9 to 5 for 30, 40, 50 years. And if you're okay with it, then you're okay with it. What business is it of anyone else what you do with your life if it makes you happy? If your job allows you to take care of your family, pay your bills, and entertain yourself when you need to, then what's the issue? I understand for some people, getting out from under a job is their main goal in life. And fine, like if that's what you want to do, but don't try to tell other people that, oh man, you're a sucker for working that job. How? If that's what they choose to do. Now, don't get me wrong, there are people who are out there who are being taken advantage of by their job and they hate it. I'm not talking about the folks that just hate working in their job. I'm talking about the folks who are okay with it. Don't try to tell them that they're somehow dumb because they didn't start a business just because they have decent credit. Like, that doesn't mean that person wants to bust their ass at a different kind of job. I know people that would much rather just be a regular Joe at their job than to even be a supervisor. Those people certainly don't want the responsibility of owning a business and dealing with employees and having to deal with cost and overhead and accounting, taxes, all the things that go into it. There are people out there who get into their own business and kind of dive right in and maybe didn't realize the amount of work that has to go into it. They're going to be working maybe twice as many hours as they were when they were working their job. Now, of course, there are success stories out there where people do great. I'm not talking about that. Or maybe I am, because some of those people who are doing well financially, they're still busting their ass. All right. And they're still tired. They still don't have time to enjoy the wealth that they're bringing in. Not to mention the folks who are busting their ass, bringing in money, but not enough so that they can actually do anything with it meaningful except to put it back into the business. What I'm saying is we got to stop pushing people to do things that look good on paper instead of maybe pushing people to do things that make them happy. For me personally, after 2010, when my wife was laid off from her job and I took a job overseas working a contract, at the time I was running a small business of my own, had a full-time job and a part-time job. When I came back from that contract, I said, I'm not working part-time again, ever, if I don't have to. Because I realized that just having the time off that I enjoyed to myself and my family meant so much more. Why did I need to increase my lifestyle expenses just because I got a promotion? If I'm doing fine before the promotion, I'm doing fine after it. So I don't need to add things to our life that just cost more money. I just need to enjoy what we have and enjoy our time off, which for 15 years, I did not work any other kind of side gigs because my time meant more than the money. I've taken that same time is precious philosophy into our lifestyle now. That's the reason we quit our jobs and moved to South America, because yeah, this country may not offer some of the same bells and whistles that the United States does, but what it does offer me is time. I have plenty of time to enjoy myself, or to not. I can just sit and not do anything if I choose to. That's what makes me happy. If money is your only goal, then you're kind of missing the point, because what's the point of having all this money if you're just, first of all, in debt up to your eyeballs and you're not actually having time to enjoy it? What's the point of it? So I think that we really should, as a people, as a community, not just encourage people to start businesses and become entrepreneurs, because that's not the only answer. You can encourage somebody to, hey, look, maybe look for careers that suit your personality and allow you time off, that work-life balance, right? Because not everybody wants to be their own boss. Some people don't mind going to work, clocking in, and going home. Don't discourage those people from doing that. Don't make them feel like they're somehow dumb for working a job, especially when that job actually makes more money than you probably make in your entrepreneurship. Yeah, don't down those folks. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing. And I would encourage it, honestly. Get a good job, work as many years as you feel is necessary, or until you get to some goal. If working your job allows you to pay for your kids to go to school, if you have a job that allows your kids to go to college for, a discounted rate, whatever your goal is, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't let somebody try to talk you into doing something that would end up being foolish, especially if it's one of those people who are like always on a new hustle, like every year. Like I know somebody like that. I ain't gonna call them out, but like they got a new hustle like every year or two. Oh, you need to get into this. Really? Because it seems like you're not really sure what you need to get into. So why do I need to listen to you? But anyway, that's my little soapbox for today. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, I want to do more of these little off-topic subjects. So if you like it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back for more. Thanks.